Hey everyone, welcome to a special episode of our podcast. I'm Hansel. I'm here with my best buddy, Wayne. We wrote a book, and today it finally is launching. Woohoo! This awesome book, it's about our story, how we grew up Asian, how we became best friends, and how we found our White Castle. And usually we have some pretty cool guests, but today it seems like we have some extra cool guests. Who would they be, Wayne?
The guests today are super extra cool, as you just said. I think that they are successful, smart, good looking, pretty much everything top 10 across the board, because it is us.
Yes, you forgot to say billionaires.
Yeah, that's right. The billionaire CoderBros. Welcome to the show.
All right, so let's jump into this podcast and kind of interview each other. So let's step back. We run the Coder School, right? That's what we do. It's a franchise. We teach kids to code all across the country. Thousands and thousands of kids come in every week, 7,000 plus. And we've been doing it for 10 years now. So it's been quite a blast, to be able to, we do it as a franchise model. And what that means is that Wayne and I don't have to actually risk our own money. We make somebody else risk their money, but we help them do it.
It's a great business model, by the way. It's sort of like if you were the Beatles and you write, well, not the Beatles probably, but if you were a regular band and you wrote like one or two good songs and it gets recurring, royalties. So
yeah, that's how we get paid, recurring royalties. And the best part is the entire company, this franchisor company, it's made up of basically Wayne and I, and one other guy as a part-time guy, but basically Wayne and I. We somehow figured out a way to run this company that makes 20-some million dollars in revenue overall with just two people. If you go look at other franchises, they don't do that. They have, I don't know, what, 10, 14, 15?
Dude, tons,
team of
right?
people.
I mean, you can just walk into a location and you'll see. And then they'll have headquarters. They're paying for having office space. But I mean,
Not us.
like
Wayne
not
and I
us.
are each worth about 7.5 people.
Yeah,
And our
exactly.
office space is Chick-fil-A in Redwood City.
Pretty much. Yeah. We're not going to pay rent, even though like sometimes it's like, oh, wouldn't it be cool to have a cool office somewhere? But then it's like, wait a minute, I'm not paying that. No
Yeah,
way.
screw that. We're Asian.
Screw
So,
that.
so let's talk about the book itself. So the book is called The Coder Bros. Go to White Castle. How did we get the book's name?
Yeah, I mean, I think the two facets of it, the Coder Bros is us, and I think it's just a cool little twist on our company, the Coder
Because of
Bros.
course it's us. Who else would it be?
Yeah, exactly. It would be our, our nemesis, those guys. So yeah, the Coder Bros is us. Is just a kind of a catchy little name that is better than, I guess we could have just said Hansel and Wayne.
That's not catchy at all.
But that's yeah. I mean, it kind of matches the movie that we patterned the title after. Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. We just thought, though, tying in the coder because of the coder school and all, so we're the Coder Bros, and that kind of works. The going
Yeah.
to White Castle, yeah, tying it to the movie is kind of cool in that in the movie the two are trying to get to their destination, right, of finding a White Castle to eat those sliders, which we do love also.
Yeah,
And
so the book really just came basically just from the movie, really. We just felt like it was a parallel kind of storyline, a plot line, two Asian dudes who are kind of idiots, kind of stupid, going out to get weed, although Wayne and I don't go out to get weed.
yeah,
They
put it on our list to try though.
yeah, it's on our list.
When in Denver, especially, the high
It's legal
altitude,
now.
the high altitude.
But
Yeah.
they had this goal of they wanted to get somewhere to White Castle, and so we now use White Castle as a destination that we want to get to. And we realized after we did the coder school for a number of years that we look back and we're like, wow, this is our White Castle. We found it. We're there because it's so awesome. It feels like the exact kind of thing that we've been looking for all along. So I think that's how the book got its name. And so Wayne, you already tried to answer this next question already, but the question was going to be why is it called White Castle, which I also answered.
Yeah, yeah. So that one's answered. Done.
That one's answered. But it's a White Castle. It's a White Castle destination.
Yeah.
When people look at, especially our age, you think about what it is that's important. And I think having something that gives you the freedom to do stuff with your family, that allows you to hang out with the best friend all the time, that lets you go travel, write books on business expense,
Yeah.
whatever it is,
And pays the bills. I
and
mean,
pays the bills.
the bottom line, it pays the bills, and it is not a 9 to 5 where we're going into an office that we hate our boss and we don't even like what we're doing. We actually, for the most part, really like what we're doing, so it doesn't even feel that much like work. And then the control and the flexibility of it that we have allows us to not have to miss any school event with our kids or a sporting event with our kids. As Hansel mentioned, I mean, I think, right? Like, I mean, you said it. Just being able to be with our family when we want to be with our family is you can't really put a price tag on that.
Yeah.
All right. So since our podcast usually has an Asian spin on it for the Asians out there, just gonna ask you straight up, Hansel, how Asian are you on a scale of 1 to 10? Would you rate yourself? Haru.
Hello. You're just gonna ask me that for okay, so jump right into it. All right. So how Asian am I? I'm gonna say I'm pretty high Asian. I've actually of the Asian friends I have, I'm probably a little bit more Asian in the sense that I think about my Chinese upbringing more. Maybe I want to learn a little bit more Chinese than others. And my friends are mostly pretty much all Asian. I'd put myself on a 7 or 8
Okay.
or so, depending on who I'm going up against.
I would
I still
probably
speak some
you,
Chinese.
yeah, I would probably
Yeah.
rated you a 7 or 8 based on your love of the Asian culture and that you're learning Mandarin now. And I already pretty much thought you were pretty fluent in my book. Cantonese, being able to order, and even Mandarin, because I'm at about a 0 on speaking and the language part. But yeah, I guess if you would have said maybe a 9 or 10, I would have challenged you on like, how Asian do you look?
Yeah, maybe I don't look as Asian as other people.
Right?
And what does that mean?
Do you
I
agree with
guess, I
that
guess I,
though? Have you ever thought of that? Like you
whether I
not
was a 9 or
the
10.
typical Chinese dude, right? Like you have curly hair for one.
Whether I'm a typical Chinese dude.
Just your looks.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was gonna say for one, I'm bald, so you can barely
Right. But
tell
even
I'm
when you had hair, it was curly. And
it was
that
curly.
is
It
not
was
a
it was one of
Chinese
those
thing.
dry you know, anti-sponge things where you jump in the water, you come out and it's dry.
Yeah,
And then
and you had
oh,
dreadlock. Yeah, so you don't have the typical, even your features, right? Like you don't have the total typical.
I guess not. Yeah, Asian American, I suppose. So I don't know. I'm on the higher end. I'm sitting here in my sort of studio where I have all these Bruce Lee pictures up. So I'm still into the culture. What about you, man? Where do you put yourself?
I mean, I was probably near a 0 growing up. I grew up in Alabama, just pretty much always friends were all white, and even, the girls that I dated and stuff were all white all the way up until pretty much coming out to California, which was way later in life. So almost a 0, except that,
So, but you knew you were Asian.
yeah, I did know I was Asian. I was very aware of it, and I was always trying not to be, sort of, and trying to fit in. But I did know I was Asian because my parents were very Asian still, with the accents.
They're first gen, right?
Yeah, so they were the
The
first
first.
gen and they had an accent and the foods that we would eat and things like that. And I had an uncle that owned a Chinese restaurant. So there's no getting around it. So I'm at least
Or was it?
two or
They were,
three.
did he just make like chop suey and all the American
All the,
Chinese dishes?
yeah, all the American version things. I guess so. I mean, there was the poo-poo platter, which that's pretty American. We can get
Is
into
that's
that whole thing. Why is it called poo-poo platter? If you've gone
I
to
don't
any Chinese restaurant, you'll see that, right? Not
I
necessarily
was
in
gonna say,
California.
is it Chinese or is it like something like Filipino or something else? Is it actually
Probably
poo-poo or is
Hawaiian or Filipino, but I don't know. Chinese restaurants in Alabama will have poo-poo platter.
That's
So
awesome.
first
I think
off,
just because it sounds cool.
not if you're English, poo-poo, man. Like, what is that?
So did your parents ever like make Chinese food for you or did you just grow up eating
Yeah,
hamburgers and stuff?
definitely made certain Chinese foods. So, my mom I'd eaten pig's feet, right? So that's not normal.
Oh, and like your mom made it. Like
Yeah,
where did she get
she would,
pig's feet?
I don't
In
know how she
Alabama.
would find it, but she would actually make pig's feet.
Oh,
And
that's legit. That's actually
Shenren
Chinese.
tofu, for the white jello with a cocktail fruit mix. Did you ever
The
eat that?
Shenrendo
I'm probably
food, the
saying
white.
it
Oh,
totally.
the dessert. A
That
dessert?
dessert, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Basically
yeah. Yeah,
cocktail
Hangen
fruit
tofu. Yeah.
mixed with that tofu. It's almond tofu or jello.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I have that.
Yeah.
So actually, I don't even know if maybe I grew up probably eating the same stuff you did. So I grew up in Iowa. So you were in Alabama.
Yeah.
I was in Iowa. My mom, I lived with my mom and I went and my uncle was there too. My mom mostly made pretty American stuff, pork chops and spaghetti and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
So growing up, we didn't eat
My
a
mom
lot of that.
did. I mean, we kind of forced her to, as kids, we would complain, like all of our friends are eating meatloaf and things, and so then we would force her to try to figure out a recipe or something, but it wasn't her sweet spot. I mean, she made dang good at fried wontons and egg roll.
Oh,
And
so you got me beat, man. So at least when you were young, you got me
yeah,
beat on
we
the
had
food
all the
wise.
neighborhood kids coming over eating that because they would just go to town. I mean, I like right now my mouth's watering thinking about those. So yeah, definitely eating some good.
Thinking about Alabama Chinese food, that's
But
awesome.
I would demand just like, could I just have a steak? And I would just eat steaks, but
Yeah, yeah, I ate a lot of steak growing
yeah.
up too. I pretty much had an Iowan, kind of diet. So how was your upbringing otherwise? So you sound like you're pretty much white. You're dating white girls. Everything was normal.
Everything was very trying to be white, played sports, did the baseball, tennis, basketball, and yeah, pretty much just what you would think typical.
But also good at math.
Yeah, but I was on the math team, so there you go. I mean, I think there's, again, no denying that they probably just picked me out and put me on the math team. I probably don't even have a choice. The math teacher was great at this school I went to, Randolph, Mr. Harshbarger. Thank you for him. He was one of the best teachers ever, man. But yeah,
Harshbarger. You don't meet a lot of Harshbarger these days.
yeah, Harshbarger. I mean, think about that. That name already sounds, and he was very scary. And I can picture him to this day. So. But yeah, no, I was on the math team and that
Yeah,
really, I did pretty good there because again, I'm Asian.
of course. That's
The
automatic. You
automatic, I
got
mean, they pretty much just at least put me in the top three for whatever
yeah,
competition. Uh,
yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah, I was pretty good at math too, but I was never I didn't do any of the athletic stuff like you did. I grew up a total nerd and loser, I would say. Like I was born in Columbus and then as soon as in Ohio and then after that I went to Hong Kong for about 5 years of my life and then I came back for kindergarten. And I remember the first year of kindergarten, it was everybody loved me because I was so exotic. All the kids
yeah,
are like, "Ooh, Chinese
you're
kid."
right. I could see that.
And so I thought I had tons of friends. But then something happened between kindergarten and first grade where I just got super quiet.
Oh,
And like to the point where it was like a phobia almost. It wasn't just a quiet kid. It was like I just didn't know what to say. And when I was forced to say something, it would make no sense. And so it
kind of
was
like
rough.
our
And
podcast then, really.
what's that?
Kind of like our podcast.
Yeah, exactly. I have no idea what to
Yeah, I
say.
have no idea what to say,
Uh,
and when I say something, it doesn't make any sense.
yeah, it's just a random statement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt
That's
like that for a really long
I
time
bet
when I
if you
was growing
dig
up.
in there, though, I bet if you dig in there, there is probably something in there. Psychologically, something happened.
Well, I think, coming from Hong Kong and then being dropped into America like that, I don't know. I kind of chalk it up to that. Although we have a lot of friends that did that and that didn't happen to them. And my brother did the exact same thing and he went the opposite way. He was like super popular kid.
Yeah,
So I don't know what it was.
I don't know. I mean, definitely being dropped in. I mean, were you ever bullied or picked on?
I probably was. I mean, I definitely remember there was a couple bullies in my school. I don't remember them necessarily bullying me directly, but I do remember because I was such a Bruce Lee fan that one day I brought my nunchucks into school. And of course, that bully guy suddenly is like, "Oh, you know Kung Fu?"
Yeah,
And then he's trying to be my best friend.
that's pretty funny. I mean, yeah, of
Uh,
course, every Asian knows Kung Fu. Thank God.
did you have nunchucks growing
I
up?
did have a pair. Me and my brother
Didn't
both
we
had a
all?
pair. We all Asians all have nunchucks, and they better have a Bruce Lee poster somewhere, or show him some respect.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I mean, you and I probably watch every single movie like 10 times, every
Oh
Bruce Lee
yeah,
movie.
I've watched
We-
every single one of his real movies. So don't be confused because growing up in Alabama, there was plenty of other people that thought they watched Bruce Lee movies, but it was like the fake ones because he passed away so long ago and they just came out with all these fake ones and I would be like, that's not Bruce Lee.
Because he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead, and that's just some other guy that. And if you really love the real Bruce Lee, right, when you watch those knockoffs, it just kind of made me upset, and I just kind of was more sad.
Oh, really? I thought they were awesome.
Really?
Watched
I, I don't
I
know.
watched all of those knockoffs,
All those
all of those
knockoffs, I
comedies.
mean, the guy's hair is wrong, the guy doesn't look right, and then the fighting, I would always just be like, that's not Bruce. Like, they just weren't badass like Bruce. Bruce had he had the different like edge to him, right? You have to give him like he was different on camera. He just drew the attention and he had a badass, element to him. Whereas the other guys,
Yeah.
maybe it was this they felt more just like the standard Hong Kong kind of fighting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I grew up with that stuff, so I
That's
love it. I mean,
probably
I know
true.
now that I look at it, it's so cheesy and dumb, but it's dumb in such a Hong Kong funny way that I still find it awesome. Like my brother and I, we love those things. They're so dumb that they're awesome.
That's true. You probably had a little bit more like that got ingrained, the Hong Kong style, where
Yeah.
I was just wanting
Yeah.
all of Bruce's because Bruce kind of westernized it and I just love that.
So you were basically the white guy mostly through high school,
Yeah.
and then you went to Wash U. Did anything change there?
Um, I mean, I still had a white girlfriend, so a
Mhm.
little bit, but I mean, at least I was seeing more Asians and at least maybe saw one or two other attractive Asians or something. But like in Alabama, I mean, I just didn't even think Asians could be, attractive and things. I wasn't ever seeing any cool. Like
Yeah.
they just kind of were like the stereotypes that were represented on in TV and the medias, right?
Do, do you think that's why did you go away from Asians or was it
I
just
think
like
so
who?
because I would
Yeah.
see the stereotypes, and then the only couple of them were literally just immigrated, couldn't speak English, without an accent or everything. So I wanted to separate myself from that. I wanted to kind of be like, no, I'm not one of them.
Yeah. So yeah, we talk about this a lot. So you were being racist against your own kind, basically.
Yeah,
You
basically, I
want to be one of them.
probably
But you never lived anywhere in Asia, right?
no, no.
Yeah, that might be a difference. Although back then I was probably, even though I was super quiet, I was probably the same way. I was very racist against the
Against
people in
somebody who
China as
couldn't,
well.
yeah, that had a strong accent and everything. I wanted to be separated and not be put in the same category with that person,
Yeah,
even though I look exactly like them. And
yeah,
so, granted, people would put me in that category, like, the whole, getting complimented on my English being better
yeah.
than somebody who,
So you didn't have Asian friends, or you didn't have an Asian girlfriend or Asian friends even while you were all through college.
right. But I took Chinese to get an easy A to help my GPA. Sure, Lao, sure. Yeah.
And you got an easy way because you're a parent.
I mean, I think just because I heard so much Chinese, I naturally
Yeah,
could probably understand it without even knowing, right? Because I've just heard it so much. I definitely barely ever spoke it. I went to Saturday Chinese school for a little while until we just drove our parents so crazy they finally let us not go. And so I didn't even do too much of Chinese school on the weekends. But it still came way more easy to me, I think, than a lot of other people that were taking it for the first time and hearing, the sounds of Chinese characters. So I felt I had
yeah,
an advantage for sure.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I didn't on my side. I didn't really. I was always looking for Asian people. I guess I didn't know. In Iowa, my brother and I were the only Chinese Asians. There were like Laotian Asians and other Asians, but as I look back, I was probably racist against them. I was probably like, those guys are not Chinese, they're Laotian, which is interesting.
But you weren't seeking them out to be friends with them. You were trying to be
No, because I thought they were in a different class.
right, right. You were just like, that is so not cool.
Yeah, and then I just didn't know any Chinese Americans, and then I found some at college. So both went to the
Agreed.
same school.
I found some, and I did all of a sudden have some friends. And so I think that was eye-opening. But I still kind of felt like mainly thought I was white, but
Yeah.
at least now I had some Asian friends and I was like, oh, they're not all dorks. Like, oh,
Yeah.
they are.
Well, I was probably one of the dorks. I didn't date anybody all through college, basically, and I still felt like very, introverted and still wasn't exactly sure how to talk to people. So it wasn't until after college where you and I, did we meet right after college? No.
No,
So
you
we
have to
went to
be
the same school, but we never met there.
yeah,
We met a couple years after college graduation,
yeah.
right? Yeah, when we were in San Francisco.
Right, right. We met there and we were consulting and then I think maybe a common like Simon or something had a going out for drinks or something, and then all of a sudden that was maybe the one of the first times I think I saw you. But then we were on the same project. But you came across as a cool Asian dude, so I don't know.
You
Or were
know,
you just
the weird
thinking
thing
it?
is I've always like internally tried to be cool, and maybe it's this thing about like wanting to be like Bruce Lee, like so cool that it stopped me from saying anything, you know? Like I don't want to say something that's not like the coolest thing in the world. I don't know. It was
Maybe,
something though. It was some kind of phobia that I took, I don't
but
know,
you
what, 20 years
dressed
ago.
cool, like so. By the time I met you, so I don't know when it all happened. I mean, did you always dress cool, kind of?
I dressed weird, but maybe just to stand out. I think I've always wanted to be a little bit different somehow.
That's true, but I think what happens is that maybe when you're younger, you shouldn't be different because then it's not. But then as you get older, being different is
Mm,
kind of cool. When I
yeah.
first met you, you just you were a little bit different,
Was I already doing the thumb
The
rings
thumb ring, that was different.
already?
And I was like, that's pretty cool. That Asian dude's pretty cool. Like,
Oh, maybe I was cool by then. Oh, you know what? That was probably way after college, actually, because I spent, I don't know, like 4 years in DC after college
honing
before I
your
made it out to the Bay
coolness,
Area.
probably.
Honing the coolness.
Honing the
That's
coolness.
right.
Because I don't know, by the time you were in San Francisco, yeah, you kind of had a cool vibe about you for sure. It was
But I
like,
think the San Francisco thing, the big thing about San Francisco, we were just talking, we got an email from Amy. I guess it doesn't matter who it is, but she lives in Texas. So if you're listening, Amy, what's up?
yep, what's
She
up?
said that there's really not a lot of Asians there at all. Where when you and I were in the Bay Area, like every other person was an Asian because we were living in San Francisco at the time. This is the height of the boom. So we were just like so into the Asian scene. I'd never seen it before. And it was for an Asian guy like me, it was like, whoa,
Yeah,
whoa, this is insane.
yeah, yeah. I mean, same with me. Like, I definitely, yeah, never hung out with that many Asians until I met you, really. That was my eye-opening. So,
Yeah, it's funny because we're always I'm always talking about how pretty much all my friends now are Asian. My kids' friends are mostly Asian too. And I was thinking just the other day, we were talking to one of our other guests, and he said that, well, obviously you're friends with these Asian people because you share similar cultures, similar backgrounds, similar this and that. And I guess that makes sense. But then I thought about it. I was like, you and I never talk about that stuff.
yeah,
Like we never
I was
talk
about to
about
say
it.
when you
So,
just said that, I was like almost challenging it, but I can't
yeah.
totally argue it because it does seem like that would make sense. I mean, there's got to be a lot of that helps the bond between Asians, but
But it's not like when I met you, I was like, so do you eat dim sum? Like,
exactly.
we don't talk about
Yeah,
that
we
stuff.
didn't talk about that. It was more just like normal stuff, right? Like guys trying to go
Yeah.
out.
So, I mean, even back then or even now, what do we normally talk about? So now we talk about sports, we talk about making money, we talk about the stock market, we talk about politics. We
Yeah,
don't talk about like our upbringing.
yeah,
Like our friends that we have on our podcast. Half of the time I'm like, oh, I didn't know you were like Jim. I didn't know you were half Taiwanese. Like we don't talk
right.
about
We
that
don't
stuff.
talk about that. So even though we've known these people for a long time, and even like yourself, until we wrote the book, there was tons of stuff. I didn't know how traumatic your childhood was, dude. People out
Yeah.
there, read this book, man. Hansel, yeah, no, when you just put it mildly, the whole that you were quiet, but I don't know, in the book and going over it with you, yeah, no, it was
Yeah, I should have seen a child psychiatrist, Kiki, also another guest.
exactly.
Yeah, I should have seen him.
That's why, yeah,
Yeah.
probably something traumatic happened there, and you're just blocking. You're
Yeah. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I
yeah.
don't know. Actually, one time when I was really young, apparently I was in Hong Kong and my mom up and took off with my brother to go on a trip to Europe or something like that for like weeks, I
Okay.
guess. And she left me with my grandma.
I'm sure.
And my mom kept telling me like I was super pissed. Like I
Yeah.
was, I don't know, one or two or something. I was super pissed at my mom and I was like, oh, that was it.
That was
That
so
was my
it.
moment
And
then.
then you were probably like, I'm never going to talk to anyone again
Yeah, that's
the
it.
rest of my life. And I'm just going to be cool like Bruce Lee. That's it.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to try to be cool like Bruce Lee.
Because you probably, yeah, were like, my mom would have taken Bruce Lee on that trip. I need to be Bruce Lee, you know?
All right, so now we're up in San Francisco now. Oh, so what I was going to say is what I think is that the funny thing is that when people like you and I were best friends, but and you happen to be Asian, but I don't think it has anything to do with me thinking, oh, we have shared cultural values or whatever,
I don't,
because we never talk about
because
that
first
stuff.
off, I barely brought any Asian culture with me. Like,
Exactly.
I'm pretty much wiping it out. I feel terrible. I'm
Yeah.
trying to get it back now that I get older because I,
So then it's like, why hang out with Asians? And I honestly, I was thinking about that for a while. If it's not all that cultural stuff, I think it's because there's this form of like sort of anti-racism in a way. It's like I see that guy's Asian and he looks like me, so he must seem like he would share the same general values.
that could be something like
I
that.
don't know. I don't know, because I don't think it has to do with us, knowing anything Asian. It's just
Yeah, I mean,
we
all my friends mostly were white, so I don't think it had anything like I wasn't like trying to be friends with an Asian dude, but I think, you know,
yeah, see, I was,
yeah, I guess you w were more,
but I don't know why.
yeah, and you don't know why, but then I was just like, this guy's totally cool with the thumb ring, man. He's so cool, whether you're Asian or not. And then we just, because then it's just like, yeah, you go out drinking, and then we're gonna try to, meet women because that's what we're doing when we're
Like in the
single.
20s. Now it sounds so pervy
Yeah,
because we're so old, but that was in
and
the
now we're
20s.
way old, so we wouldn't be doing that, but
Yeah.
that's what we would do. And I think we just became friends because the more common things are that we were both fairly newish to the Bay Area, trying to, grow our friend circle, whether it was Asian or white or whoever. And then a lot of our hobbies were the same, like we were learning snowboarding sort of at the
Yeah.
same time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And we worked at the same
we
place.
worked
So,
at the same place. So we
both
obviously
CS guys.
both
Yeah.
doing software, knowing about
Yeah.
software and all of that. So I think,
So let's talk about those days a little bit. Man, those were some of the best days of our lives, I think. Summer of 98, right?
yeah, no, I
That
mean,
was the first summer that we were out partying with all the Asian people. I was like, dang, this is a sea of Asians here in San Francisco.
yeah, I'd never seen that before, but you introduced me to these whole Asian party scene, which was crazy. I mean, I didn't even think it could exist. And probably when you first described it, I just thought, oh, it's just going to be a bunch of dorks, like, because, and then went
Yeah.
in there though, and it was just like all these cool, attractive Asians, and like, whoa, okay. And then they're friendly
Yeah.
also. Like, I was,
Yeah, I'm assuming everybody who listens to this podcast would have gone to those kinds of parties. I don't know, but they were pretty crazy. Like it was like you go into they're all at a club,
yeah.
right? And it's all dance music.
Oh, yeah.
It's super loud, and it's
Yeah.
it's like all the girls are dressed in their super skimpy whatevers,
Right.
and then all the guys are dressed in their tight muscle outfits and
You got the
stuff.
three-quarter leather jackets, right? The
Oh yeah.
black.
Oh yeah. The leather jackets, the white shirts,
Yeah.
the J. Crew leather jacket.
Yeah. And then everybody did start wearing thumb rings because of you, because it was so cool.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I
And
started a trend.
some kind of rings because it's just
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Those were the days. We met so many people then. I met my wife in one of those parties.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah. And then we went on to our Timmy days, right? We somehow, for some crazy reason, me and Jin, I think, yeah, me and Jin and
Yeah.
Dave, we started this stupid band ourselves and we suck. But that blossomed into this thing where we brought you in and we brought Telly in and
Yeah.
brought these other people in and became Timmy Ramen.
That was like our glory days. I mean, for sure. The fact that we were
Yeah.
in a real band, nobody will still even, like my own kids don't even believe me. Like if I say I was in a band, it's
Yeah, they think the video is fake. You
Yeah,
got to show them
they
the
just
video.
think it's totally fake or whatever. I try to show it to them and go, no, really, we were on stage. Like,
Yeah, I mean, and the funny thing is, I mean, I don't know, a lot of people should be in a band, but we should not have been in a
yeah,
band.
it's probably
Like
true.
we just don't have the musical chops to be in a band, but
Right. Well,
we played all the easy
we
songs,
probably
right?
shouldn't
We
be doing
played them
a
fast.
podcast either, Hansel.
That's right. We probably shouldn't
We
do this
probably
either.
shouldn't have written a book, but
Yeah,
yet we've
but here we are.
been in a band, we wrote a book, multiple books, and here we are on this podcast. So that just
Yeah.
is back to the whole title of the thing, finding your White Castle. You can, the American dream, just
Yeah,
go
American Dream. We've lived a couple of them. That I mean, we played in front of some pretty big crowds, a couple hundred people that are totally jumping up and down
bimbos,
to us
right?
singing. That's
Bimbos,
Bimbo's. We played at Bimbo's nightclub.
one of the
So I guess we don't have to get into it, but we did a whole chapter on it in the book. So you
Yeah,
guys
so
out there
that's
should read that.
nuts. As far as the
Yeah.
Asianing, the Asian side, a little bit circling, like, were your parents super tigering, like of you and your brother?
Tiger? Oh yeah, parents. That's a good question. We totally didn't talk about that. No,
Yeah.
not at all. My mom. So basically, so my father actually, my dad passed away before I was even born. Yeah, he passed away while my mom was pregnant. So my mom had the whole single
How
mom.
did it, what do you know about that? Or are you even okay to talk about that? Like, is that maybe
Yeah,
that
no,
you
I don't.
plan?
I didn't even know the guy, so nobody knows. He died of unknown causes, just
So
like
your
Bruce Lee.
mom doesn't even know.
No, no. I mean, it was, they came up with random, whatever conspiracy theories and stuff. My grandpa was like, "Oh, I think he was a chemical engineer and he was like, "Oh, I think the chemicals that worked killed him and they covered it up or whatever." I
Yeah,
don't know.
see, there's a movie there.
But the thing is like I have nothing to compare it to. So I grew up without a dad and like I was like, I don't know, I guess that's how it is. I can't compare it to anything else.
That's crazy
So
though. I mean, it's hard.
I guess, although to me it was just normal. My mom, I mean, to be honest, I grew up, I mean, I wouldn't say I grew up without a mom, but my mom was working her butt off because, I didn't have a dad. So now that I'm older, kudos to her because that's a lot of
That's what I was
work.
about to say. Kudos to your mom because she is an immigrant too. So I don't think like, right? Like
Yeah.
that's hard enough just to be a solo parent if you're already in like know the language and everything, but your mom trying to deal
Yeah.
solo parenting, that
Yeah.
must have been insane. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. I can't imagine what it'd be like to be a solo parent now, but she was. But she wasn't around. Well, her personality is not to be a tiger parent anyway, but
okay.
she just wasn't around enough. She was always working. I would watch TV as soon as I get home from school all the way to whatever, midnight, not midnight, probably like 10,
I was a
11,
TV
whatever.
guy myself too. In fact, my brother and I
Yeah.
we would watch Johnny Carson, like, back in.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd probably be asleep by then, but it's totally different, right? I mean, our kids now are on Instagram all day. They don't know anything about this TV thing. But we had nothing else to do. It was just the TV. If it's Joni Chachi was on, Joni Loves
No,
Chachi, that's what we were watching.
definitely. Like Three's Company, like I knew the lineups. Tuesdays were huge. I kind of remember. And maybe
Yeah, yeah, the Happy Days times. What was
yeah,
that? There was like the
Happy Days
Three's
was maybe
Company.
Mondays, was it? Or did it moved to Tuesdays.
It moved around. It moved around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wherever it would go.
Yeah. So what was your upbringing like with your parents?
Yeah, I mean, everybody always says like tiger moms, but my mom also didn't have that personality. She was kind of a softie. So like if
Yeah.
we whined enough, she would probably give in, you know? So she wasn't. But my
Yeah.
dad was a little bit more on the scarier side of, I mean, not like totally scary, but high expectations. I was just saying, you suck unless you're, what
Did he ever say I love you?
um I don't think he ever did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think definitely not that type.
Did your mom ever say it?
Only when I got older and I kind of started saying it to her, then she would say it. But it
Oh, you actually said it to her
yeah,
first.
because I would like so when I dated like I had some white girlfriends and I would learn from their families, like some things that I would like. And I would see them hugging and saying I love you and stuff. And I'd be like, that seems like that should be good, not just the way our family is. And so I would say things like that. And so
So what happened the first time you said it to your mom? Was she like, "What?"
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think she would just say, "I love you too," you know.
Yeah,
I think,
that's crazy. Yeah, my mom did my mom tried to say it. I don't know if she couldn't say it. She would say it like "love you." And I was like, "Wait, are you saying that because you don't want to say the words, or because your accent
right,
is
because
so
she can
strong?"
say it perfectly fine, but she's just trying to,
I
avoid.
don't- yeah, maybe. I don't know, but I talked to her. It was funny though. I talked to her when we were a lot older, like maybe when I was in my 40s. And I was like challenging her on this, like saying love you and stuff. And I don't know what we were talking about, but she eventually she was like she said, "I don't think you ever need to say I love you. People just know it."
Yeah, that is
I was
definitely.
like,
My
"Okay,
dad
that's
would have
pretty
said
charming."
that for sure. He would just say,
Yeah.
and I actually do believe that too. But then I don't know, when I've seen it in other families and all, like more hugging and being more affectionate, I do think that that's a good thing. So, like, how are you raising your kids? Did you tell your kids that you love them? Or you're like, I show it to
I
you. Loved you,
do I
loved
say
you.
anything? Love chew. Let's see, do I? I don't think I think I still feel it's weird to say it because I don't know because Chinese or because of what. So now I give them a hug all the time though. I like
Okay.
physical affection, like Miley, my oldest. They are 21 now, and they're still here and didn't back not back at school yet. But probably I would give Miley about 10 to 15 hugs a day
Oh, wow.
within the span of like an hour.
Okay. Yeah, no,
So like I'm very huggy with them, but I don't often say I love you, but I think my wife does. What about you guys? I feel like you guys
we
do.
do
I hear you say
say it a decent amount, definitely more when they were younger. And as they get into teenagers and stuff, a little bit less, but still we'll say it. Um, yeah. And then we'll just, yeah, I don't know. Like we'll ask each other, are we saying that too much? Or about,
Are we saying it too much?
like I'll actually ask, and then it'll be like, because I don't like, I'm like, I don't want it to just be like, it's just way too much. And then you don't even, it's meaningless. And then we'll just kind of be like, no, it's about the right amount, you know. Kind of funny.
Right amount of love.
Yeah, right amount of saying I love you. So, but that is
And so
interesting.
how are you as a dad, otherwise in terms of like the helicopter
I'm
stuff?
probably inherited the softy part from my mom. So I
Yeah,
think I got that.
that's what it sounds
And
like.
yeah. So I think that if they really,
So then how do you crack your kids into shape?
probably more, but Winnie is not really even a tiger mom either. So in general, we're just gonna have loser kids basically, I guess.
Yeah,
You know.
if you don't have a tiger mom, you have loser kids.
Can't really compete with the other Bay Area tigerness. I mean, they're just too elite. They're too driven. They're too everything. And so, yeah, no, everybody else's kids is like every time I hear about all these stories, it's just like, what? They did what? They're what? They got into what? You know, like that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. The
Feel like
tiger
a
thing
loser.
is it an Americanization? So we're American, we're more American, Asian American, but we're more American, so we don't push as hard. Or does the tiger thing also apply to Asian Americans? I don't know. As we think about our friends, are would you say a lot of them are tiger parents?
I think that they say that they aren't, but then behind the scenes they probably are, you
Yeah.
know. That's kind
I don't know. I guess I don't know what the definition of is, but maybe it's more like a Bay Area parent where you kind of feel like you got to keep up with the
of,
Joneses.
yeah.
You're not necessarily cracking the whip, but you're playing the game.
But you're definitely playing the game because you're just in it every day and you're hearing about it. And then your kids are with the other kids, right? Or, just all the Bay Area is definitely, yeah, playing the game, I guess. So I don't know. Yeah, is it really tigering or what? But it's definitely
Yeah.
playing the game of like how much, private schools, private education, this or that,
Yeah.
tutor mathnasium, Kumon,
Yeah.
Russian math,
Yeah.
right? So
Sounds pretty Asian, but I guess it's just Bay Area and well, and New York and DC and all these other
yeah,
places too.
wherever there's those kind of these tigering types, right? The A
Yeah.
type of personality. I mean, those parents then those same kind of goals, and then they push and they get their kids into Russian math where they're in first grade and they're doing fifth grade level math already, right? It's just kind of
Yeah.
the way it is.
So how do you keep the culture going? I know you got your kids learning some Mandarin. And it just so happens that your wife also speaks. Wait, actually, what does your wife speak? What does Winnie speak?
She speaks a lot. I
Cantonese.
mean, she'll speak, yeah, I mean, Chinese, also Cantonese, some,
So she speaks Mandarin.
yeah, and she can speak
Do
Mandarin.
you feel like your kids are losing the culture at all, or do you feel like they've got as much as you do?
Oh, I think because I almost lost it all, I'm just trying to get back some just because I feel bad. And as I get older, I realize it is important. So put them in an immersion elementary school. That probably helps some. So I would think that they're definitely at least ahead of me when I was
Yeah.
growing up, which is good.
What do you guys do for Chinese New Year?
Let's see. I mean, we w did go out with another family, had a nice Chinese meal on the Chinese New Year day, and then the
Did you give out
or
hongbao?
and then the day before is what do you say the meal is? Tuan, yeah, it's something with a T. I don't know.
I have no idea.
Yeah, so we're supposed to eat with family the night before, and then
Oh, yeah, I'm
yeah, and then
definitely,
you got to have the
I don't even,
noodles, the fish, the different things. I don't know.
oh, I definitely don't do that. Well, Winnie's also, your wife is also a foodie. My wife is not a foodie.
Okay.
I'm more like, we don't need to celebrate anything specific. Let's just whatever. So I don't even
You
celebrate
guys
Chinese
didn't
New
really
Year.
have a special meal or anything.
I mean, I'm going up to my mom's cousins or whatever. They're gonna make something. But yeah, we didn't. What did we do? I think we had Chipotle or something. I don't know. We didn't-
Okay, you are not a seven then. You pulling you down.
I just know the culture. I don't actually do it.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I'm one of those guys, like I don't really celebrate birthdays and like I just feel like every day is just another day.
Yeah, that's true too, though. I mean, I definitely feel that, but I mean, I guess Winnie celebrates them. So, I mean, we do the girls get red envelopes under their pillows. I don't know.
Under their pillows. What?
Yeah,
What kind of
exactly. I
tooth
didn't really
fairy
know
Chinese
that.
New?
And then I just thought we used to give them money for their tooth fairy stuff. And I really didn't even know. I guess Winnie was doing this. And then like a week ago, my girls were like, "Oh, I'm looking forward to, the red envelope under my pillow for New Year's." And I'm like, "What? We do that?"
Wait, so is that a thing or did Winnie make that up?
I think it must be a thing, I guess.
Under the pillow?
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
Yeah. I mean,
I think maybe she's confusing it with or mixing it up with a tooth fairy or something.
yeah, I don't know. But yeah, they did get the tooth fairy, but then I guess every New Year you're supposed to get some kind of a red envelope under the
Yeah,
pillow.
Lisa's mom, my wife's mom, is still giving out hongbaos to people who are like 50 years old. I guess I guess you got to do it for all the generations under you.
Oh,
I guess
really? I thought it
that's what you're
was
supposed to do.
only single if you're not married.
I think theoretically it's supposed to be I don't know. There's like so many different.
Well, hey man, if she's giving, hey, invite me over then.
Yeah, this is my friend Wayne. He needs a hongbao.
Yeah, I'll just be like, hey, I could use a home bao. Thank you. But
All right, so that is basically how Asian we are. Let's talk about I guess let's talk about our White Castle. Well, well, should we talk about our White Castle? What's sort of next on the list? We can talk about what our next White Castle is.
yeah, I would say maybe the next White Castle, because we kind of did talk about the current White Castle. And so,
Yeah.
and that White Castles are not like a lifelong one-time thing and then you hit it. I think that, yeah, White Castles can be just any kind of a life goal, a life achievement or a destination.
Yeah, yeah, and I think when we say it's a life goal, it makes it sound like this one big thing, but it's not. It's when you're growing, when you're and I guess at any age, you should also have you should always have some kind of goal, something that you're shooting for. Don't just roll with the wind, and try to get something better
Yeah.
than you have. So I guess we can talk about that a little bit if we want to talk about what I don't even know what is your next White Castle after Coder School.
Yeah. Um, I guess, I mean, I think I think, Coder School just kind of keeps evolving and kind of hits new things. So I mean, I guess I don't know if it's a separate one or if it's like a fork or a spawn off. But I guess if we do that,
So it's the same damn thing, basically.
yeah, it's the
Keep
same
doing what you're doing.
thing.
So you don't have a
I
White
think
Castle.
you're right.
You're still in the
I don't
adventure.
have a Burger King or McDonald's to my White Castle, I guess,
You're still eating
at
your
this
sliders.
stage. But but yeah.
Okay, well, I would say go think of one. Everybody should think of one that they can push themselves a little bit to make themselves a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, what's yours?
Well, one of mine is to learn more Chinese. I could never really read Chinese too much and learn Mandarin. I know Cantonese pretty well, but now I'm doing pretty well with all these apps.
Yeah.
They work really well. Hello Chinese I use a lot. Do Chinese I use a
Do
lot. So
Chinese.
yeah, do as in read. And so I actually can read decent Chinese now, which is crazy. Like started a year and some ago.
Oh.
Now I can read at what they call an
Oh yeah, you
HSK3
said
level.
do sue or something. Read a
Do
book or
it's just called do like as in read, and then do Chinese
ah
is one of the apps I use. Um, that's probably my mental one. My physical one, so I do Ironman a lot, and I don't think I can get any faster because of my age. So I'm not going to try to get any
yeah, I
faster.
wouldn't think
But
that could be a goal.
yeah, but I think my White Castle for that is to do Ironman, either Ironman Taiwan or Ironman New Zealand.
Ooh,
So these aren't really training goals, but it's like to fly to Taiwan and where they're not going to speak English there because it's not in Taipei. It's like in the middle of nowhere, Taiwan. And I'd have to read all the signs in Chinese. And to do an Ironman there and get like a shirt that has it in Chinese, that would be pretty sweet. So that's another one of my White
sure it
Castles.
would say show some respect. We built the effing railroads.
That's probably exactly what it was.
We built the effing railroads and I ran an Ironman here in New Zealand. There you go. So
Yeah. All right, so let's see. So let's get a little bit serious here. Then let's talk about this guy that we both know. This guy named Brian Guan.
yeah.
Some of you guys might know him. He used to work with us at Cambridge Technology Partners a long time ago. Really great guy. He actually left there to go to LinkedIn, where he made, I guess, a crap load of money. Because ever since I've really known him for the last 10 years or so, he's been coasting.
Yeah.
Super smart guy. He was
Well,
like
you
3D
even wanted
printing.
him to do the coder school with you first, right? And
Yeah, yeah,
he
yeah.
had too much
That's
money
right.
and was like, I don't want to work.
That's right. He was
Right? You
already,
told me he was just like, dude, I'm done working. Like,
yeah. He was like, this was dang, he was like 40 something. He was like, I'm trying to figure out how to, coast for a while.
yeah.
Um, but super smart guy. But unfortunately he passed away about 3 months ago. So just wanted to give a shout out to him, his wife Allison, his kids Milo and Teo. Uh, so just a quick moment of silence for the man. Yeah, rest in peace, Brian. We're all gonna miss you.
Yeah.
But it makes you think, Wayne, right? I mean, how short life is. We are in our 50s. So they say once you get into your mid 50s or so, you have a good shot at getting into your 90s.
I
So
still
if
don't
that's the
totally
case,
believe that, but
yeah, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the average,
you
life
did. And
expectancy.
who was the guest? It was Kenny, right?
Kenny, yeah,
He
that
was
said that.
touting that too. And I'm
Yeah,
like, I don't know,
but if
man.
true,
You just
we'd
means
have like.
you're over 50, you're closer to death, man. I don't know.
That's why you don't have a White Castle. You're just ready to just keel
Yeah,
over.
done, man. I'm toast. But I
But
think that,
you might have 30 or 40 years, man. What are we gonna do?
yeah, no, I think that the whole, I mean, Brian, yeah, rest in peace. And I mean, yeah, any thoughts that I ever have of him is just, he had always a smile on his face. Nicest
Yeah.
guy, beyond being like one of the smartest guys I've met. But yeah, it does remind you life is short. And so, I mean, yeah, if there's anything like a White Castle, but it's more like, yeah, be healthy so that you can be around for your kids.
Yeah.
And one of our guests, which will not let us air his podcast, was a sort of made it a practice. Should we just call him out though now on this one? But
Who was it? I guess there's only one guy. I think I know who you're talking
yeah, yeah, it was Emmett.
about. Emmett, damn
So
you.
if you're trying to guess out there, yeah, yeah, it was Emmett. But so he was, I thought, had one of the best answers of, um, like one of the goals was just to be at his daughter's wedding. And I thought, whoa, everybody says, like a goal or a bucket list item is to get to Maldives or, these exotic places or make so much money or become a CEO. But that really gave me a great outlook on, I mean, the goals should be more stay healthy so that you could be at your daughter's wedding and be able to walk her down the aisle without a walker, you know? So I definitely,
Yeah, well, hopefully we can do that. I mean, we're still in pretty good shape for now.
for now, but like you said, man, I
Yeah.
mean, like Brian, and like you just don't know.
Well, that's the thing,
Is what
man. I
I'm
mean,
saying.
he found out probably it was like a week and a half. No, it was probably like a year and a half after he was diagnosed that he passed. So it's pretty fast, and he was in his 50s. So I mean, that makes you think. Like, we always talk about whether you're going to get that pre-nuvo scan.
That is true. You've gotten the pre-Nuvo scan and you have a clean bill of health. So I just kind of, I,
So that was 2 years
I just
ago. So
tell
now,
myself
now,
that I'm just trying to, I hang out with you a lot. So therefore, by you doing it and you being good, I should be all right.
yeah, yeah, you're probably all
By
right.
the
You
factors
probably
of
have a clean.
relativity, I don't know. I mean, but it is scary and I do think about it. But so when the Coder School opens another 10 more locations, the royalties can maybe cover one pre-nuvo or something.
A
So
pre-nuvo.
just need,
A pre-nuvo,
yeah,
if those out there who don't know, it's a full body scan. They scan you to see if you have cancer anywhere before you even have symptoms. I don't know if it's worth it. It's controversial, but at least it showed me at that time, 2 years ago, that I don't have it.
right. I
But
mean,
time to get it again.
I have nothing against it, and I think it is great, and it could help. And I would feel, if I had a full scan, and I'd be like, oh, that's great. But then, I mean, it costs like what, $2,500, something.
Yeah, 2,000 bucks. Yeah.
So, I mean, there is that, and it's not cheap at all, and insurance won't cover it. So there is all that. It's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
tough.
But we got to think about these things. It's like we always talk about when at this age, whenever we have a little headache or something, we're like, wait, is that cancer?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely paranoid always. Whenever I don't feel well, I'm just like, oh shit, like, is that,
Yeah.
I don't even want to say the word. It'll just be like the C word or something. Like it's just scary. It's totally scary to me. Just even contemplating that. I saw my uh, Winnie's stepdad, Randy, rest in peace. Also, and we witnessed he got.
Yeah, he passed the cancer,
And
right?
I
Yeah.
mean, I witnessed what it did to his body. It's very scary how you can just go to like skin and bones in a matter of a couple months.
Ooh.
But yeah, so I think that does lead to something that I think you also do, and that we do now a lot, is we try to create memories, experiences. And I mean, my wife, Winnie, that's her logo. If she had one, her tagline is always want to create an experience and a memory, for our family and by doing stuff. And so she definitely is not necessarily always just trying to save, which would be the typical Asian way. And I think we've sort of adopted that along the way too. Like we're not always
Yeah.
just trying to grow this coder school for money or whatnot, but we grow it for our shared experiences. And we
Yeah, experience is what you remember, right? That's not, you don't remember all the big stuff you buy. It's the stuff you do
Because
with the.
think about it, without the coder school and without some of our experience, we wouldn't have we got to meet Shannon Lee. Shannon
Yeah.
effing
Yeah.
Lee,
That would be Bruce Lee's daughter, and I hope
daughter.
you every single one of you guys out there know that.
Shannon Bruce effing Lee's daughter. Like that's just
Yep, we got a selfie with her. We chatted with her for 5, 10 minutes, and it's all because we spent some stupid money going to a Warriors game that we knew she was going to be
on
at
Bruce Lee night, of course,
on
but
Bruce
we
Lee.
had some chance of it. So if anybody is in charge of the Warriors and listening in, bring back Bruce Lee night for sure. For
Yeah,
sure.
if Mike Dunleavy is,
Dunleavy, if you're out and you have some, Asian blood in you. He kind of looks a little Asian, doesn't he?
yeah, just a little bit.
His eyes are a little squinty or something. Something about.
Yeah,
I'll bet he has some Asian
yeah.
in him if he did the 21 whatever genetic testing.
He probably does. All right, so let's see. So should we end this podcast on some life tips?
Yeah, I think I mean, one would be to don't just go after the money or the status or the material goods, but go after experiences and creating
You know
memories.
what I wish? I wish somebody would come on this podcast and be like, screw the experiences. I want to make so
Well,
much
that's true.
money. I'm
So
going to work my
what
butt off.
we're waiting
Nobody
at
ever says
that,
that.
Haniel,
Yeah, he's a money guy. He'll
we
say
just
that.
got to get Haniel on here because he might even fundamentally believe that that is the better route, right? I mean, every time,
Okay, I have an interesting take on this. So we both have kids who are college age sort of bound or whatever. So I was talking to Beck recently, my middle son, about what he should major in. He's going to be an architect, but he's talking about, well, maybe that's not going to make enough money.
really.
And so I actually think when you're old like us, that it is about the experience and it's about not the money, but make sure you spend time with your family. But when you're a college kid, they always talk about find your passion. I kind of say, screw that.
Right.
When you're at that age, it's just you want to make money first.
Yeah. I mean,
Like you got plenty of time for passion.
there's
You know,
truth to
like
that.
like you and I, when we graduated, had consulting jobs, and you go out to eat with your friends all the time, and kind of go to party, and you do whatever you want, and then later on, you learn about life, and then you can find your passion. But in the beginning, when you come out of school, when you're young, you kind of want to make sure you're set, like money wise, to do the stuff you want to do. Then figure out your passion.
I actually would have to agree somewhat with that, even though I know that we're probably pissing people off or something. Like
Yeah, I don't know if it's a life tip,
it's
but I just think, right, if you want to be a musician, like one of our
exactly
other,
because here's the thing.
right?
If you truly, the people that just say purists, just follow total passion. I mean, it'll be like, well, then I should just be playing Roblox. The
Yeah, yeah,
I
exactly.
love Roblox, dude, and I'm just gonna play it because that's my passion. And I think that it's a little over purist just to say, yeah, that's it then, just complete passion. And you're probably, I mean, unless you're like a pro athlete and you just knew you love tennis and you're talented and you're gonna go pro, yeah,
Right, because pro athletes, you're making a lot of
then
money.
you're making a lot of money. So I think that there does have to be something to it to say, I mean, you can't just be off like, doing something just totally ridiculous, 24 hours a day. I mean, you know
Yeah,
and that there is time to come back to it. So I think balance might be my tip. Like I think every
yeah,
time, even like you just said, like completely doing your passion versus trying to have some money. Well, maybe there's some balance there and like trying to be healthy, right? It's always the people that go on these hardcore crazy ass diets, way too extreme. They end
yeah,
up getting diseases and things because they've gone too crazy. So it's like a balanced diet. So yeah, I'm eating some cookies and stuff, but
yeah, yeah. You got to be okay with what you're going to sacrifice because if you really want to be an artist or you really want to be a graphic designer, well, or I don't know, or whatever, like let's say not a high-paying job and coming out of school, you got to be okay with not making the money too. If you're really okay with it, if you really are passionate about it, okay,
that's true.
that's cool. But
But yeah, if you're not really happy sharing a one bedroom apartment with five other dudes, then
yeah,
you want your own one bedroom apartment. Yeah, you've got to figure out where you're okay with.
yeah. So I guess I'll give a quick tip. This one is for only for you iPhone users. I figured out how to do this like a month ago, and I think it really kind of just resets, just helps me remind me of what's important. Um, so what it does is it'll set your phone's background to have pictures of your kids, um, random pictures of your kids. So just bear with me here. So if you go into settings and you search for wallpaper, and you add a new wallpaper, pick Photo Shuffle. The key is to pick Photo Shuffle. Pick Photo Shuffle, and then you should have a list of things, people, nature, or cities. Pick people, and then choose the people that you want to choose. Um, and I chose my three kids. And the cool thing about this is what it will do is if you set it up right, I won't go into all the settings, but if you set it up right, every time you pick up your phone, it'll show you a different picture on the background of your iPhone of some random picture of your kid. And however old your kids are, if your kids are 18 or 19 or whatever, it'll still show you pictures from when they were, 5, 7, 2, 0, right after they're born. And these are pictures that we haven't seen in forever. We all have thousands of pictures,
Yeah.
you know, in in our stack that we never get to. But now, if you do this setting and you set it up right, every time you pick up your phone, and Wayne, how many times do you pick up your phone every day?
Dude, I probably don't put it down. It's more how
Oh, so then one time.
I only put it down once, and that's to take a dump or something. I don't know. That's when I should have my phone, honestly, but you get your
Yeah.
hands and things like that. But no, Hansel's tip, do it, try it, because the other last time we had our meeting, he took my phone and he just did it for me. And then now my girls will like want to grab my phone and they will just see what picture it is, and then it brings back a great memory a lot of time.
Yeah, and it shows you what's important, right? Like, I don't know, we all pick up our phones 20, 30, 40 times a day, and it's just picking it up. And all of a sudden, you see a picture you haven't seen for years. An iPhone does this great thing where it zooms into the kid's face, right? So it's like framed really well. And it uses, I think, Apple's featured photos, which I guess it uses AI to determine which pictures are the best for you. So there's a bunch of different settings you can do. Pick different people, like emphasize different people, de-emphasize people. So do it for your kids
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
see see pictures of them all the time. It's really cool.
Yeah, and if there's any other thing you could do, give us a rating on our podcast.
That's right.
There's
That's the biggest
anything
tip
that
of
will
all.
bring you Chinese Lunar New Year good luck if you give us ratings on Spotify or Apple. Yeah, ratings, ratings, and ratings.
And maybe 5-star ratings.
5 star too. Yeah, even better. More luck. The more stars, the more
Yeah.
luck.
The higher the stars, the better the
It's
luck.
a Lunar New Year thing for sure.
All right, man. I think that's a pretty good wrap for this. Well, Wayne, I mean, we always end up thanking our guests, man. Thank you for
Yeah,
being my
thank you,
buddy
man.
for 26 years or so.
And I love you, man. Can you say it back?
I'll say it. I'll see. I loved you like a brother.
Loved you.
Thanks for listening to the special boring version of our podcast where we ramble on about ourselves. If you want to read about it, head to Amazon now and search for The Coder Bros. And don't forget to leave us a 5-star review because we're awesome. Thanks for listening.